Welcome back, everybody, to another lesson. Today we are going to talk about the order of operations of equations. Sometimes in math equations you will find addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponents, and parentheses all in the same equation. Well, what do you solve first? What order do you do it in? Well, let's say I give you an equation of something like this. 12 plus, in parentheses, 6 plus 4. What do you do first? Let me write a little bit lower because I'm about to tell you what you do first. 12 plus 6 plus 4 in parentheses. You may or may not have heard of this expression. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. PEMDAS. So P equals parentheses P is parentheses, E is exponents, M is multiplication. Let's say multiply, division, divide, A for addition, and S for subtraction. If you can remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, you will remember the order of operations. So first, you're going to do your parentheses, then you'll do your exponents. Multiplication and division have the same priority, and then addition and subtraction. So we have you have parentheses first, exponents next, multiplication and division are the same priority afterwards. You'll just work from left to right, and then addition and subtraction are after multiplication and division. Those have the same priority. It's often been taught that you have to do multiplication before division. That is not true. They're both the same priority. Because basically, when we get to fractions, I'm going to show you why they're the same priority, but when you divide something, you multiply by its inverse, by its reciprocal. So multiplication and division are the same priority. Addition and subtraction are the same priority because when you subtract, that's the same as adding a negative number. So that's why addition and subtraction are the same priority. And we'll get more into that as we get into negative numbers at some point. But if you can remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, you'll remember the order of operations. So we are here with this equation, 12 plus 6 plus 4, the 6 plus 4 in parentheses. According to the rule of PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, we would do the parentheses first. That's always number 1. So you'll have 12 on the outside, plus, what is 6 plus 4? Since that's in parentheses, 10. Once you solve what's in parentheses, you can remove the parentheses. That would be completely fine. So then we're left with what is 12 plus 10? That's going to be 22. So parentheses tell you what to do first. I'm going to keep PEMDAS up there for the entire length of this lesson because it's valuable. Alright, so that one is solved. What's the next problem here? We have 1,000 divided by, in parentheses, 100 divided by 10. So again, we look at the rules of the order of operations. What do we have? We do have parentheses. So you're going to keep the 1,000 outside of that. You're going to solve for what's in parentheses first. What is 100 divided by 10? Well, that's going to be 10. So then what's 1,000 divided by 10? Well, 1,000 divided by 10 is going to be 100. And that would be our answer. All right, let's take it up a notch here. Oh, good. We have 83 minus 7 times 6. Notice we are using the dot symbol for multiplication. We're slowly trying to move away from using x for multiplication. So let's look at the order of operations here. We don't have any parentheses, we don't have any exponents, but we do have multiplication. That's going to come next. So you would solve for that 7 times 6 first. So you'll have 83 minus, what is 7 times 6? That's 42. So you're left with 83 minus 42, which is, as it turns out, it's going to be 41. So your answer to the problem would be 41. All right, what's 33 here? Good one. We have 10 times 10 minus 3 times 4. Okay, so looking at this here, we don't have any parentheses, we don't have any exponents. We do have multiplication though. So we have 10 times 10, which is 100. Then we have a minus here. But we don't do minus yet. We got to figure out what 3 times 4 is. What is 3 times 4? Well, that's 12. So you're left with 100 minus 12, which will give you 88. So 88 would be your final answer. All right. Oh, another good one here. So we have 4 to the third divided by 8 minus 4. Well, we don't have any parentheses, but we do have an exponent. 4 to the third is going to be what? Well, 4 times 4 is 16 times another 4 turns out to be 64. We will have 64 divided by 8 minus 4. Okay. Once we've solved for the exponent, we're left with, we got no multiplication, but we do got division. So we'll solve for the division first. 64 divided by 8 is 8. Then we have the minus 4. Next we would do our subtraction. Because we have no multiplication or division left, we don't have any addition, we got subtraction. So 8 minus 4 is 4. So 4 would be your final answer. Okay, we're going to take it up another notch here. We got almost a little bit of everything in this. Come on, come apart. We have 3 times, in parentheses, 2 plus 8. That in parentheses is squared, minus 5 times 4 minus 3 in parentheses, that's also squared to the second power. How are we going to solve something like that? So again, stick with your rules of please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. What do we see first? We see parentheses, so we would solve for those first. So you'll still have your 3 on the outside times what is in parentheses. 2 plus 8 is 10. You'll have 10 to the second power. We haven't addressed the exponents yet, but we got to address the parentheses first. Minus 5 times what's in parentheses. 4 minus 3 is 1. That 1 will be to the second power. Alright, we've addressed our parentheses. Next we need to address the exponents. So you'll have 3 times what is 10 squared? 10 to the second power. That's 10 times 10, which is 100. Then you'll have minus 5 times what is 1 to the second power? Well, 1 to any power is going to be 1. So we reduce this down to multiplication and subtraction. So according to the rules, next thing we're going to do is our multiplication. What's 3 times 100? Well, that's just 300. And we have minus 5 times 1. You'll do your multiplication first, so that'll be minus 5, because 5 times 1 is 5. Now you're left with a simple subtraction problem. 300 minus 5 is 295. So 295 would be your final answer. Alright, looks like we got one more for this lesson. Okay. We got a bit of all 4 operations in this one. You have 8 times 13 plus, we're going to have what's called nested parentheses at this one. 42, in these brackets you have 42 divided by, and even more brackets, 18 minus, in parentheses, 6 plus 5. Okay. So how would you solve something like that? Again, starting with your rules of order of operations, you'll start with your parentheses. So you have brackets which function as parentheses. You got brackets inside of those brackets, and you have parentheses inside of the brackets inside of the other brackets. These are called nested parentheses. You start with your innermost parentheses first. So you'll have 8 times 13 plus, then we'll start here. You'll have 42 divided by, go inside the brackets, 18 minus, what is 6 plus 5? Starting with your innermost parentheses. That's going to be 11. Okay. So we've solved for the innermost parentheses, so now we can reduce it down to just brackets inside of the other brackets. So sticking with the order of operations, we're still dealing with parentheses. The brackets function as parentheses. So you'll have 8 times 13 plus, you'll have, in the parentheses, you'll have 42 divided by, what is 18 minus 11? Well, that's 7. So those other brackets go away. Now you're down to a more simpler equation. But we still have an issue of parentheses to take care of. Those brackets, again, function as parentheses. Well, you'll have 8 times 13 plus, now what is 42 divided by 7, since those are in parentheses? That's going to be 6. We're almost done, but not quite. Now we have multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, because we got all the parentheses are gone. We have no exponents, so we can move right on to multiplication. We need to figure out what 8 times 13 is. So let's do 13 times 8. 3 times 8 is 24. Keep your 4, carry your 2. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 2 is 10. So it's 104. So 13 times 8 is 104 plus 6. All we're left with now is a simple addition problem. We will have, as our final answer, 110. 104 plus 6 is 110. And so that's really how you do order of operations. Let's see if there's one more I want to pick on. See if I have one that truly gives me everything. What if I'll do one more with you to show you again. So we have 72 divided by 6 minus a set of brackets here. Inside the brackets we have 2 times, in more nested brackets, the quantity of 9 minus, in parentheses, 4 times 2. And then that closes out all the brackets. Okay, so according to our order of operations, again, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, we are going to do parentheses first. And remember, you start with your innermost parentheses. So you'll have 72 divided by 6 minus 2 times, in the brackets you'll have 9 minus, what is 4 times 2? 4 times 2 is 8. So you have 9 minus 8. You can take away the innermost parentheses. Now you just have brackets inside of brackets. So following those rules, we're still going to stick within the parentheses. You'll have 72 divided by 6 minus, inside the brackets you'll have 2 times, what is 9 minus 8? 9 minus 8 is 1. Okay. Then we'll still solve for the parentheses, which are those brackets. You'll have 72 divided by 6. Now what is 2 times 1? Well, that's 2. So now let's see. We don't have any parentheses. We have no exponents, but we don't have multiplication, but we do have division. What is 72 divided by 6? That's going to be 12. Then we have minus 2. What is 12 minus 2? Well, that's just going to be 10. So your answer to that equation is going to be 10. I think I finally found an equation that will incorporate elements of all of them. It's going to be this one here. We have 7 squared, 7 to the second power, plus 20 times 4 minus, in parentheses, 28 plus 9 times 2. Alright. So starting with the rules of PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, what do we solve for first? We're going to solve for what's in parentheses. You'll have 7 squared plus 20 times 4 minus, now what is in parentheses? You have, inside the parentheses, you follow the order of operations in there. You have addition, then you have multiplication. Well, multiplication comes before addition, so you'll have 28, then what is 9 times 2? 18. So you'll have 28 plus 18. And then, following the order of operations, we're still going to solve for what's in parentheses. What is 28 plus 18? Let's do that real quick here on the side. 8 plus 8 is 16. Keep your 6, carry your 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So in parentheses is 46. You can get rid of the parentheses. Okay. We're done with parentheses, but we do have an exponent, which will come next. The exponent would always come right after parentheses. So 7 squared is 7 times 7. That's 49. Plus 20 times 4 minus 46. Okay, we have no parentheses, we have no exponents, we do have multiplication, however. What is 20 times 4? That's going to be 80. So we'll have 49 plus 80 minus 46. Now, there are some that would teach you must do the addition before the subtraction. In this particular problem we're going to, because it's going from left to right, but addition and subtraction have the same priority. You just work from left to right if that's all you have left. So we got to figure out what is 49 plus 80 to start with. Well, let's work that out on the side. What is 9 plus 0? That's 9. 4 plus 8 is 12. So we'll be left with 129 minus 46. What is 129 minus 46? Well, we'll solve that on the side too. We will come up with our final solution, because that's all that's left. 9 minus 6 is 3. Well, we can't do 2 minus 4. We can certainly do 12 minus 4. Borrow 1 from the 1. That becomes a 0. 12 minus 4 is 8. 0 minus 0 is 0. So your answer is going to be 83. That is your final answer to this equation, is 83. And really, that's how you solve order of operations in a nutshell. So if you can remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You start with your parentheses first, your exponents are next, multiplication and division after those two. Multiplication and division have the same priority. You just work from left to right. Then once you've satisfied your multiplication and division, you'll do addition and subtraction, which those also have the same priority as each other. You work from left to right, and that's it. That'll conclude this lesson. Next lesson, when we come back, we are going to talk about factoring numbers. Get ready to prepare you to move into fractions. Well, have a good day, everybody.